Hello everybody, mine's Farman, and welcome back to episode 4 of our Let's Play on Sparrow Hill Farm. And then he said Spring Hill Farm. So as you can see, we've got £23,000. I did have to splash some cash on a few bits and bobs. And buy and sell. I had to buy a field. I have found a problem with one of the fields, as well as a few others, saying that you need to own them before you can... Like, you need to own the one next to it, or you don't own it. Field 1, you need to buy field 2, and so forth. We're probably just going to go around and buy them all, you know, because they're dead cheap. So you may notice that we don't have a 4610 anymore. It has vanished. Sold that because I wanted to put something else in the yard, and I have put something else in the yard. I have put this little beast. It's a 135. Ross Agnew did the edit to it and then sent it me. The original model is an IMT, but it's built onto it, so it's got the Fergie wings. I need to get rid of this reg plate because that's just weird. I've put the panels on and a roll bar on it because it just looks nice with a roll bar. Exhaust with the little rain cap and a loader, so it's even got the Fergie sounds as well. I think my game's a little bit quiet, so just bear with me. I don't know whether you can hear that, but I'll tell you what, if we're going to use this tractor, we'll just crank it up one more. There we go. So yeah, it's got the Ferguson sounds. Now I've windrowed all the fields. I did that with the Ford before it left, before I sold it. So we're going to take the little 135 and go do it. We're not going to use the Major because the Major's rear arms are a bit funny. When you put stuff on the ground, it doesn't tend to like it. So we're going to whiz over to the other yard. Now this map is in testing. I've got quite a few of my friends actually testing it, finding the errors and the problems that need fixing before I do release it. There are one or two little issues that we've already found, which is, you know, it's going to happen. You're always going to find them. Right, so let's hook up to the hay bob. We'll go do field 1 all the way on the other side of town first, before we start to do anything else. Now, come on, Gil, up the hill. Now, yes, this is just an edit of a tractor, which, you know, isn't spectacularly, you know, isn't spectacular, but it does look nice. I mean, the bonnet looks a little bit big. I have shrunk it down to do this. This is why the dashboard looks bigger than the bonnet. That one's shrinking down as well, but it works. The other one I had done, which was an actual 135 that I had done, it kept messing up, and I found the issue and I know how to fix it. So this one may change back to the other one, which I didn't show in the video, I don't think, because it wouldn't. What's it? But that was fun. So it's a bit tight around this bit of lane here, but the other one has. It's weird because the other 135 I've got is a convert of the original, so it's actually a 135, but it has absolutely no detail on the transmission or anything like that. So that's why I've just added the bits off that onto this one, because this one of course has a really detailed engine and, you know, bits and pieces. Right, we'll leave the Edlands, we'll do them last. Now this is the one good thing about actually being able to do this. You can just sort of, we'll just get a screenshot for the thumbnail, because of course that's what we want. That's what we want, a thumbnail screenshot. Oh, there we go. It's actually quite weird how you guys can't see the shaders mod. Oh, I'm going to turn that run thing off as well. I might deactivate that because that's annoying as anything. Get on 135, power up. So this is what I mean by if you just windrow it and then you just head it in a row. the hay bobs are good to just keep it in rows, and they will, if you've got bits like this that haven't gone in the row, it will put it into a row for you. Probably because these are, in real life this would be like what you'd actually rake with. This would be like the rake mode on it, but these ones don't have it because these are the ones that also go on the console, so they have to be different, otherwise console players couldn't have it, which is the way it has to be. Now you can probably see that the red on the wings and the roll bar are different reds, as well as the red on the bonnet. Not all of it's been AO baked, so some of it is a lot different. It's just the way it is, but it works. It does the job. I mean, yeah, we could have kept the Ford. The one thing that was annoying me with the Ford was every time I went near it, it started to slide, and that is the one thing I hate. Like, I don't mind any other mod, but when it starts doing shit like that pisses me off. I don't know why, because normally if you're away from it, it doesn't move, but I think because I sometimes like to stand next to them and talk for a bit, or stand next, or leave them running and wander off and go do something else for a little bit. Could do this in cab, but this one, I like the look of this tractor, so. Right, so we need to get, I've also mowed that backfield over there just behind the cows that hasn't got a marker on, which will get done. I've pretty much got to redo all the fields because I did them all wrong, which I kind of knew. So I need to do them again. Which isn't a big deal, it doesn't really bother me that much, but I knew there was going to be errors and issues and stuff like that, which there is. But that's what you get. So now you wouldn't keep turning your implement off every time you picked it up. I just do it in case it catches the row and then spreads it out further than I want it. Bum 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 bum. Righty ho. Now, if you notice underneath this tractor's foot thing, you can just about make out. Ooh, it's a very small beacon just underneath there. I don't know why it's there. I think because this was the cabbed one and he took the cab off it. But it's quite hard to actually find in the Giants editor to get rid of it. Or I wouldn't get rid of it. I'd probably just put it on the roll bar. But I don't like them on roll bars, so I probably would just delete it. But like I said, it's quite hard to actually get hold of. Right, so once we've got this grass done, we might just put some fertilizer on it for this time round, and we'll put like slurry or something on it next time. Because we aren't going to have enough, we haven't got enough slurry, we haven't got enough manure neither, so. Come on, little one. I think this 135 wants its horsepower just upping up a fraction of a touch. Well, a little bit, just to make it that bit easier. But yeah, this is the easiest way I found with the hay bob, if you're doing actual hay with it, is just to windrow the rows up and then ted them whilst they're still in rows, because then you haven't got to get the rake back out. Or but in real life you'd have had them, you'd only have to rake it once. But farm sim's really weird. So that PCO is shaking to death. Look at it, it's freaking out. And then the road joins in. So yeah, it's as you can see, you can run these. I haven't even used, the case has got the least, I think it's got the least amount of hours on it compared to every other tractor I've got. This hay could do with this not being here, because it's going to put it on the road like that. I thought it would. Oh well, not a lot you can do. We'll have to get the baler out here pretty quick. That's it, round the corner, round the corner. Rightio, next field, which is you got to cut through that arable one. Yes, just for some reason the tyres come through the wing. That's just a little. I think that's because of the ground, the way the ground works. Power. Okay, don't power because I hit something. Because I forgot I had A-bob on the back. Which usually aren't that wide. Right, pull in. Open the gate. Yep, open the gates. Cut through the arable field. Now this is the bit here where you need the mod that says do not drive too deep underwater. I don't quite know why it says that, because there isn't actually any water there. I think because of the little stream thing that I put in, I think it may come over here a bit, but even then I don't think it's going to be that bad. Now there are some people probably going to say, well, why don't you just do headlands first, then the middle? I don't know, it kind of feels... It kind of feels weird doing that. It kind of doesn't feel as weird doing it this way. Come on, mighty 135, up the hill. And oh no, link arms. Do the old trick of V. This is the one nice thing about farms, and you can just spam the. There you go. That's how you do it. If you get stuck like that and you're with a small tractor, just keep pressing V. You'll eventually get over it. I want to change the tyres on the front of this tractor back to the original, like what they are on the major, like the 3-prong ones, because they're the right tyres for this sort of age of tractor. I mean, you can change them, and a lot of people do, because I've got the 3-prong ones, I call them, with the big chunky bit in the middle, and there's the 2 grooves on the outside. Them things are like ploughs in wet weather. They don't half rip up a field, especially on my major, but the 135s are quite light, so. Right, there's only field 1, no sorry, I think it's field 10 to do after this, and then we're good to go. Good to get the baler out, which is, we're either going to put it on the case or the 36. The only reason the case is actually here is to power the seeder, like the all-in-one drill. This is where the link arms really need to be, probably a bit lower. Let's do this row and then we'll do that row. That's a big row. Yep. Right. Now, as you can also see, I've took the compressor thing off as well. Because there's a big compressor tank thing to put air brakes on, which is, you don't really see them on English tractors of this age, so I took that off as well. I mean, there are still a few things I need to do with it. There are still a few, like, you know, it's still not perfectly finished, and don't think it ever will be, but it'll be close enough. I may delete the old set of gauges here and put some new set on. I might do that actually, and just play around. I can take the engine out and put a different engine in. Hang on, why is that unfolded? Let that fold back up. If you unfold it, it puts it out as it doesn't put it out as what's it, so. Come on, 135. See, this is the issue. The major doesn't struggle, but also the major misses loads of bits because its link arms don't go down all the way. Well, actually they do because I fixed it. Now we've got a couple new mods made by Will. One is a link box, which we're going to go buy in a minute. I've just remembered I've got it. It doesn't really have a purpose as of yet to what it could actually do, but it's there. So, and we've also got a weight, but the weight is incredibly heavy, like you'd want it for ploughing. Come on, little 135 up the hill. So you do have to do a few little things like this. Now this hill isn't too steep, which is quite good. There we go. Up and over the top. Now there isn't too much more manure spawned in. There isn't actually that much in the pit. But once we start giving them everything they need, they will start to make it. The only thing we're going to struggle probably with is mixed rations, because of course we need silage and we haven't got any silage pits. Well, no, sorry, we have got silage pits, we haven't got any silage cut or anything like that. Now I might change that one trailer to 2 little ones. The two single axle silage trailers, I might just put them in because they're quicker. And it means little tractors like these can still be used and I haven't got to use big light. The only thing I'd need to use is the 36. So yeah. So unfortunately this tractor, because I've edited it, does become private before anybody asks, if they have already asked. I'm not going to be giving it out. It is a nice little 135, I will admit that. I will admit that, you know, I mean, and it will look good on the muck spreader because that's what it's going to go on, because of course Massey muck spreader, Massey tractor. I know a couple of people wanted to keep the 46, but the slidiness is the one thing that just winds me up. I cannot deal with tractors that slide. The case only slides when you first buy it, and then after that it seems to fix itself, but the thing just slid all the time. So yeah, I'll come back in the yard, come through the yard. So yeah, that's what we're going to be using. That Massey Ferguson 200 is our forager. Now what I might do is just course these 2 tractors up to the pit, put a weight point, and then bring them back round to the field that they're in, or whichever field, and then that means I can beat them up here and then, you know, wait at the farm and then just let them come up the hill or do whatever, and then we'll dump the silage in. Right, this shouldn't take too long to do this little field. We'll even TED this little row that's worth doing. Well, the entire field's worth doing, but there's absolutely nothing in that row. So yeah, as you can see, I've pushed the little bit of manure we had right to the back, just to help. It is gonna fill up. I might jump on another save and just sort of test it and fill it up a bit quicker, but I have tested it. It does spawn in, which is good enough for me. I mean, even if you have to just keep your eye on it and keep pushing it back every so often, because it will fill up. Once you've got all the mixed rations and everything given to them, it will fill up fairly quick. But you got to get there first. So yeah, this engine in it is the wrong engine. This is not a Fergie engine. I have got the other tractor, which I might just rip the engine out of and put it in this one instead. Like, keep the fan and everything, just pull the actual motor out and put the fan back in and all that. I don't know. I've got a few ideas for this thing. I've still got it on my desktop, so I'm gonna have a play around and try and get it how I want it. because of course, what's the point of having a tractor if you can't have it the way you want it? No, I can already feel the pain of doing this hill, and I've had to move this. I had to move the entire engine across just to fit the exhaust in next to the body and not make it look like it was flipping through the body. I think I'm going to do its horsepower as well whilst when I get off. So this is all the fields done. Next, I might just bale it off screen, and the next thing we'll do is a bit of stacking. I'm not too sure yet. I don't know if I should, but I might just do it anyway, because I want to get on and test to try and test it as well as everyone else test it, which everyone seems to be having a good go at. Some people have found 2 or 3 problems already. They're not major problems, they're not game breaking, they're just little things that could be changed. One of them is the gates at the shed, you can pull them over. I know that because I took them off the west coast, and you can actually, everything on the west coast that's an object is movable, so you can move them, which gives it a little bit of realism. But I mean, I could take them off and get rid of them completely, but what's the point? This little bit here is going to be an absolute fucking pain. There we go. Come on, 135. Up. Up. Come on, little 135. Up the little hill. There we go. Yeah, a little bit of a pain, but that's about it. There we go. Right. There we go, 22 minutes, that's this field done. That's all the fields made into hay. So I'll probably bale them and bring them in off screen. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more today, and I'll see you all in the next video. Happy farming and goodbye.